Hello and welcome to Joy This Moment. I'm your host and coach, Mevy here to open hearts and transform minds so you can live your best life as your most joyous and successful self. So let's dive into this episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of Joy This Moment. I'm your host, Mevy, and so happy you're here for episode 12. Can you believe it has been 12 weeks? I mean, I always pinch myself when I'm about to start an episode. It just still feels very surreal to me. I wonder if it'll still feel surreal to me a year on. We shall have to see. So I hope you've had a really, really lovely week. I have... What have I been up to? So I took part in this full moon ceremony. It sounds very woo-woo, and we had candles, some people had crystals, there was a bowl of water, there was even a sheet where we were writing a list of things that we want to release, and a list of things that we a list of desires that we want to bring in. So a list that almost like fears that we want to get rid of and goals that we want to manifest. That's probably the best way of putting it. So I thought I would try this out because something I've noticed about myself, every time we have a full moon, my energy is feeling very low and drained. And I don't know if this has any connection with the meaning of my name. I'd be curious to know because my name, Mevy, means like the moon. So there's already a connection there. But I just... And here's the other thing. So as a Muslim, I celebrate Eid. And Eid al-Fitr, which is the Eid that we celebrate at the end of Ramadan, which is the 30 days that we're fasting from dawn till dusk every day. It's not 30 days in one go, it's every day we're fasting. So we fast through the day, but we eat through the night, all right? And it's Eid when you've seen the new moon, and every Eid, at the start, I just feel freaking miserable, and I'm just like, this is the day where I need to be celebrating, but I just feel so miserable. I always feel like grumpy in the morning of Eid, but then it gets better because obviously like we're celebrating and partying, so it does get better. But it's just an interesting observation, so I wonder if there's a connection. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to try this ceremony, and I don't know what happened, but it's just like nothing short of magic. As I wrote a list of all of the fears and doubts that I had about myself, as I wrote it on one piece of paper, and on the other side made a list of everything that I want to achieve, there's something about writing that I just suddenly felt really empowered and motivated the next day. And maybe it was to do with the whole group setting, because there were about 200 of us in this new moon ceremony together. We also did a little bit of breath work, which was super fun. So I think it was actually the energy of the group that was really empowering, motivating and supporting. Anyway, so that's a little bit of fun stuff. What else have I been doing? I've been feeling very creative in the kitchen, creating these it was meant to be blueberry tarts, but we didn't have any blueberries, so I tried with some blackberries because they tend to be a little bit bitter anyway, and that was a nice little bit of midnight baking. On to what I want to actually talk about. So last week I touched on a little bit of ego versus soul, and I've had a bit more of an awareness since then, which I want to share. So back in July, I joined this yoga teacher training course, which I was hoping to finish by the end of September, but for various reasons that didn't happen. And at the end of September, we kind of knew that the final deadline is 31st of December. Now, at the end of October, the school announced that as long as you get your final video in by the 27th of November, because this is a new deadline that they set, you can still get your official certification. And unfortunately, I couldn't quite meet that deadline. And there were a few people in the group who were who hadn't fully received the information. So there was a lot of various bits of miscommunication going on. And part of me felt like putting in a formal complaint, because they hadn't sent any official emails out. They had said various different things in the run-up to the deadline in the Facebook group. But then part of me was also like, actually, I'm gonna hold on and wait. I don't feel like complaining. I don't feel like making a racket about this. I just felt like staying calm. And the 27th of, what was it? The 29th of the, so yeah, it was the 29th of November. They then send a mass email out, and so an email and an apology on Facebook, and said, we have made a few reviews and decided to extend it to the end of December. Which is really interesting, because when I saw their initial announcement back in September, I decided that I'm going to make sure that all of my work is submitted before the 31st of December. And I'm not going to submit anything before that. I just decided that and stepped away from the outcome. And even though the school had a right to change its mind and bring forward the deadline, and the reason they brought it forward is because some of the teachers have decided to take a break and go on holiday, which is totally fine. So they'll be short-staffed in December. But because I just felt that 31st of December was the right date for me, I didn't feel any need to complain. I didn't feel any need to make a racket. I just felt calm. And despite the slight blip, that didn't affect me either. And this is how I know that I've been operating from a place of soul. Because our ego wants to be right. Our ego loves to complain. Our ego loves to fuel negativity. Our ego loves to create a racket. Our soul just wants to be, and our soul is happy. Here's the thing, sometimes you do have to create a racket. You do have to stand up for what you believe in if it really, really matters to you, if it is something that is a source of injustice. All right, we have to stand up and speak for what's right for us and to protect and support others. But it is a situation for you to judge. Do you need to operate from a place of fear, or do you want to operate from a place of love? And our default setting should always be, I'm going to operate from a place of love. And because I was just really patient and supportive and understanding of everything that was happening, I just feel happier overall. And this is what my vision is for everyone. If whilst listening to this podcast you have had this aha moment, I would really ask you to think back to various situations in your life where you think you may have been operating from a place of ego, and how you can shift that so you can operate from a place of soul, a place of love, a place of joy, a place of happiness. Okay, so that is it for today, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Joy This Moment. I am truly grateful to each and every one of you for tuning in week on week to yours truly. if you feel that this episode has helped you, let's help more people. Please share this episode with anyone you think who could benefit from hearing this week's topic. And it would be wonderful if you could subscribe and drop a review and take a screenshot of that review, tag me on Instagram at Mev's Moments, and I'd be more than happy to send you my weekly success meditations to give you a power start to your week and to your ongoing week, because you gotta listen to them every day for a success and joy mindset. All right, my chums, thank you so much, and I shall catch you in the next one.